Grace and peace, everybody. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. You have no idea what we're going to talk about because there wasn't a thumbnail and there wasn't a title. I want to talk about a concept that happens in Christendom, emphasis on dumb, whenever a major event happens. Whenever a major event happens in Christendom, what tends to happen is out of the woodwork crawl all of these quote unquote prophets and prophetess and people who had a dream, people who knew this was going to happen. And they'll always come back after the fact and say, I knew that this was going to happen. The Lord showed me that this was going to happen because of XYZ. My dog ran around the circle 4 times, and I knew that that was going to be the 4 knocks on the door that were going to come to tell the lady that her gerbil got ran over by an 18-wheeler. I mean, just crazy stuff. It always happens. It never fails. If you just search YouTube, there's tons of people with quote unquote prophecies now that Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. But they had nothing to say about him on the 9th of September. Nothing to say about him on the 8th. It's always after the fact. It's proactive, retroactive prophecies, I call it. And so they're false prophets most of the time, and they're just saying something to try to get their name out there in the zeitgeist. They're saying stuff to get notoriety. They're saying stuff to get their own fortune and fame, not to bring honor to Christ at all. Well, Candiracy has dropped her own version of this prophecy. And somebody yesterday, or earlier today, please forgive me, said, you need to watch her rant about bees. Not the letter B, but bees, B-E-E-S, bumble, honey, bees. She did a video yesterday. I'm sorry. If you're still following after Candace after this point, you get what you get, and you can't pitch a fit. You cannot be upset if Candace is lying to you. Now, she might be right about Macron. She might be right about other things and aspects. But this right here has got to be the most egregious example of her just outright making up a story. I'm sorry. This makes no sense whatsoever. And I'm just going to play it. I might stop a couple times because there's some instances here where she leaves some gaps in information, I think, that are probably for good reason. There's probably good reasons why she leaves the gaps in information. But again, this is for all of the Canaspiracy cult members. Come on up here to the front of the church. We left some room for you up here in the front. Come on up in here, scoot in, everybody. Let the Candace cult members come up close to the church, because you got to see this. You have to see this objectively. You could still think that Candace is the bee's knees. No pun intended. You might think Candace is great, but you got to admit this story is crazy. Like, I don't care where you land. All these puns. I don't care where you land, what flower you land on about Candace. You might still think Candace is great. You might think she's just the best thing popping. After you watch this story, objectively tell me this story doesn't cause you to at least pump the brake a little bit. Bring down the odometer just a little bit. Slow her down just a little tad bit. Because, man, I've been running fast after her. In this example right here, she is outright lying to you. I'm sorry. My name is Jason, dearwokec@gmail.com. She is telling you a story that is unverifiable. And I want you to add this to your list. Because, again, if you're one of the Canaspiracy cult members, I really need you to start keeping a list. Like, you got your little pad of paper over here. I need you to start writing down every time she tells you a story and she says, I'll bring you the evidence. I'll show you later. Don't worry about it. Trust me, bro. Call the book the Trust Me, Bro book. She does this a lot, and it's crazy work. So let's go ahead and bring this in. Come on now. Come on. I got to build up a little bit. Come on. I got to build it up a little bit, but trust me, it's worth the wait. Ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, let's go.
Anyways, this
green hearts in the chat.
Overwhelming feeling I had never experienced something like that since, until about a week before, or actually, 10 days before Charlie got assassinated. And so I'm going to explain that to you because you guys who watch this podcast might have realized something, that we took the show off air randomly for the first couple of days in September. So I will describe to you exactly what happened. There at first was a elementary school shooting that happened at a Catholic school, and I was just concerned in a way that I had never felt so impacted. And I was going, something isn't right. Something is just not right. And I felt that there was some sort of an infiltration that was happening at schools. And best way that I can describe it in a sentence is that I sensed that the danger wasn't stopping there and that more was coming, and that I needed to take a look at just the process of hiring people at the school that my children were going to attend. And I did.
Okay, I got to stop right there. So 10 days before Charlie's murder, she had this foreboding feeling. This is exactly line upon line some of those quote unquote Christian prophets that have come out after Charlie Kirk's death. The exact same thing. I mean, it's almost like she's reading a script. But can you imagine her going to the school, asking the headmaster, the principal, the team in charge about their hiring practices? And the way she comes across here on screen, she's making an attempt to put her best face forward. How do you think she comes across when she's in person? Wait till she explains how the staff kind of brushes her off. I'm sorry, she's giving Karen vibes. Can I speak to your manager vibes? Watch this.
Just a cursory online search and some messages I found, which were not written by a teacher at the school, but someone who was adjacent to some teachers at the school, gave me pause for concern. In fact, explicitly what it was.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I know, catch you on I know. Don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. Don't get me. I'm building something. Don't beat me up. She doesn't tell you where she found this information. I was just online. So where were you online? How did you were you on a message board? Were you on a YouTube channel? How did you find this information? She doesn't tell you. Again, she's just playing in your face. Y'all, I'm gonna back up just a little smidgen, a little second or two. And let's go.
Sensed that the danger wasn't stopping there and that more was coming, and that I needed to take a look at just the process of hiring people at the school that my children were going to attend. And I did just a cursory online search and some messages I found, which were not written by a teacher at the school, but someone who was adjacent to some teachers at the school, gave me pause for concern. In fact, explicitly what it was a Polish underground symbol, like a Polish communist underground symbol that nobody would have recognized outside of people who know what it meant. And I just sort of went, okay, that's weird. I kept looking online, and strangely, I'm not kidding, and I'm going to show you these messages, I came across what looked to me like a bunch of people talking about bees. You're going, Candace, what do you, like literally bees, in a way that the only way I can describe it to you is like they were speaking about bees, but they weren't speaking about bees. It was very coded. And I'm going, am I going crazy? Or do you think that all these people are really actually, quote unquote, bee farmers, or saying that they farm bees?
Now, John, I'm gonna have to put you in 0-second timeout. We don't ask those kind of questions of Canaspiracy. We just believe Candiracy. This is the Trust Me Bro episode. We do not ask questions. Because in a moment, I'm going to show you what I think she saw, and y'all tell me. Okay, so hold on tight. Okay, so yeah, put a bee in the chat. There we go. Put some bees in the chat because we got bees going around here. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm trying to be serious with this woman, but I can't take Candiracy seriously. I just cannot believe she's telling the story with a straight face. This should be told in a drunk bar with karaoke playing in the background. There's no way you should be telling this story to sane people. This is that padded room, on the 3rd floor of Arkham that you're telling to the man that's dressed as a bat. You're not telling real people this. I'm sorry. Listen to this story. Okay, I'm gonna back up a little smidge. I know y'all get mad at me. Don't beat me up, please. Don't beat me up.
Talking about bees. You're going, Candace, what do you, like literally bees, in a way that's the only way I can describe it. She was like, they were speaking about bees, but they weren't speaking about bees. It was very coded. And I'm going, am I going crazy? Or do you think that all these people are really actually, quote unquote, bee farmers, or saying that they farm bees? What is this lingo that I'm not understanding? Why do I feel like it's related to students? I didn't feel good about it at all. And I just sensed that we needed to get more involved, to go to the school, to ask about the process of hiring, to see if they needed more security. They were kind of giving up me the thing that teachers do now when you ask any questions about what happens at the school, which is they make you think like, why do you want to know? Like, we just do whatever we want to do. It's like, I don't know. My children are like 5 and
No, I'm sorry. Y'all know me. I'm a former classroom teacher. No teachers say that. There's absolutely unequivocally no teachers say that. What do you want to know? We just do whatever. Nobody says that. You're going to have, where is the evidence, ma'am? Again, come on up here to the front of the church. I know we got 122 people watching this live stream. If you're a member of the Canaspiracy cult, we saved you a seat in the front of the church. Come on up here to the front. Come on up here. Get on up here to the front of the church, because you need to be close to this. Ask questions. Where is her evidence? She's got websites. She's got these nefarious bee harvester websites. She's got these visions. You need to start asking her, where is the evidence of this, ma'am? Stop taking the stuff at face value. This is ridiculous. This is infuriating, because she's saying something. In a minute, it's going to go very dark. So right now we're all laughing, keying and having fun. It's going to go dark in a few seconds. And if you're a member of the Candiracy cult, you got to stop putting up with this. You don't have to come over here to the Jay Witt podcast. I'm okay with that. You don't have to become a Jay Witt aficionado, member of the pod squad. Hit that like button. But still, you got to start asking questions, because this woman is playing in your face. Why does she feel so comfortable telling you this story? That's the question you must ask yourself. What about me is so open that this woman would tell me this type of story? That's the problem. That's what you need to be asking if you're a member of the Canaspiracy cult.
Actually, parents should, of course, we need to be more involved. Like, how did we get here that we feel like we're crazy for asking questions about the hiring practices at schools? And the feeling just didn't go away. I can show you this actually, because I was thinking, like, I said to my husband, there is some weird underground, it's like I sense like imminent danger is coming. And for some reason, I feel like there is an underground that has emerged at schools, and it's like related to bees. That's what I said. And I messaged multiple people about this, my sister. Here are a couple of more text messages to other people. You can look at the time frame here. This is 8:30, August 30th. This is September 1st when we went off air. September 2nd, we were off air. And I started talking about people that were discussing bees in a way that didn't make sense. I'm like, I don't know if this is drugs. I don't know what it is, but it's weird. And so in a sentence, I just said, there's imminent danger coming. Okay. It is relating to a school. I think it's a communist underground, and I don't know why, but it has something to do with bees. Totally sensible thing to say to your husband. Oh, and we need to hire more security. And we did. We hired more security that very week.
I feel bad for her. I'm feeling bad for Candace, because at this point, her tourism into conspiracy land has really affected her negatively. Like, this is not normal behavior. This is not the behavior of somebody who has a firm grip and a firm arms around reality. She literally said that something nefarious is going to happen, is dealing with bees at school, because I ran across a bulletin board. By the way, we have no idea what the page was. We don't know what she saw. And in a moment, I'll show you what I think she saw, and you just let me know. This is crazy. And she's still going to add more to it, though. This is ridiculous. If you're a Candace cult member, this is your person. This is your person. This is Candaspiracy, ladies and gentlemen.
And I was just frantic about it. And we made the decision that we needed to homeschool immediately, and started the process, pulled our kids out of homeschooling and starting to interview people. But it wasn't enough. Like, despite hiring more security, despite taking my kids out of school, I still had a sense of dread. the Tuesday night, the night before Charlie got assassinated, I had.
So all of this is building up to it. Remember, I'm telling you, this is what those false prophets do in Christendom. They come out, 2-3 days after the event and say, oh yes, the Lord told me. I knew this was going to happen. Now, granted, they didn't tell you beforehand. They knew nothing beforehand, but afterwards, they got 2020 vision prophecies after the fact. This is ridiculous. So she done took her kids out of school because she found a bulletin board with people talking about bees. Everybody on this channel has some little guilty pleasure that they like to watch on YouTube that really has nothing to do with their own lives. They just like watching it. It has nothing to do with them whatsoever. They'll probably never do it. They're just interested in it, whether it be, feral pig hunting, magnet fishing, fill in the blank, right? Car restoration, sneaker restoration. All of us have those. And each one of those little niches have their own language and their own lingo that seems weird to us. Candace goes into the bee community and says, everything they say over here is weird. I'm translating it as nefarious. Let me pull my kids out of school and get extra security. That's not normal behavior. If you're a member of the Candiracy cult, I'm telling you right now, that is not normal behavior. That's not a sane, rational look at the world. Everybody in here has a job. Everybody in here has interests that other people don't know about, whether it be mountain biking, again, or skiing. Maybe you're an arborist, maybe you're a gardener, and every last one of them have their own lingo, their own little things and little nuances. How dare I go and say, oh, geranium club. Oh my gosh, geranium, German. Oh my gosh, they are, come on. And they're digging holes too. They're putting, this woman, this is not normal behavior. Well, we're going to see the bees in a second. We're going to see the flag in a second.
Book club. And I felt like I needed to emphasize to people in book club that it was time to take their kids out of school. Like, take your kids out of school. Something, danger is happening right now. And I'm going to show you a clip. Obviously, this is all behind the paywall of what I said to people that are in the book club. Take a listen. I'm homeschooling my kids. I'm so excited. I'm like very excited. I'm embarking on this recent decision. And it is just, I can't explain to you when a weight got lifted off from my shoulders, because I was like, I can't just speak about this. Like, we have to do it and show people that it can be done. And I'm so glad that my sister who did it first, because I was like, my sister, it was very difficult for her to do this. She's got to wake up super early, but seeing her do it made me go, my older sister, I was like, what is wrong with me? Of course I can do this. And again, this weight being lifted off my shoulders of like, you don't get my kids. This whole system, this whole matrix, got to send your kids to school so we can what? Indoctrinate them mentally. In some schools, there's abuses that are happening, like, and I just have to take the risk and give you my child, like my small child, and then you're going to gaslight me. This is what happened, actually. I was like asking the school basic questions, like, because I was only going to put them in like, a little daycare program, pre-K program. And like, I was like, ask questions like, how do you hire people? And they were like, you don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared? I'm like, okay, bye-bye. See you never. Don't make me think that I'm weird for being a mom. Okay. Don't make me believe or try to sell to me this idea that we're sharing these kids. These are your students. These are my kids. And if you don't understand that, then they can't be your students. That's it. That was on September 9th. Okay. Then came September 10th. Obviously, Charlie lost his life. And a few days later, I was told, and I sensed instantly that there was like a hive of people that were involved in this. I just knew it. And when it happened, I just went, oh my goodness. And my gut is telling me that this was the thing, that the dread that I sensed that was coming out of school. And I had no idea. I am not a flag person at all. And then someone told me, and I was astonished that Utah recently, extraordinarily, did modernize their bee flag. I had no idea that the Utah state flag is a hexagonal beehive, right? And unbeknownst to me, that it has always been the beehive state. So in 2024, they modernized their flag, but they've always been known as the beehive state. And to be clear, it's not because they make honey. It's not because they have a high presence of bees. In fact, in terms of making honey or bee-related products, they rank number 24. It's actually the Beehive State. It relates to the Mormon Church, the Church of Latter-day Saints. Early Mormon pioneers founded that state, and they liked the idea of a beehive working toward a common good. Now, if that sounds big.
Okay, I gotta stop. I'm gonna show you this. She said it was a hexagonal beehive. Let me pull in real quick. Here is the picture of the modern Utah flag. Where's the hexagon? Where's the hexagon? And again, if you're a Candace Owens supporter, why does she keep playing in your faces like this? Why does she keep saying things that are demonstrably not true? There is no hexagon. And so I did a little quick search real quick, and I just said the old flag. And here, I don't see a hexagon. This looks like what there used to be. Where's the hexagon? Where's the hexagon? If you are a Candace Owens supporter, do what you do. Do what you will. But don't let it be said, do not let it be said that nobody told you that you were crazy. Now, maybe this is it. Maybe she's talking about maybe this could be the hexagon. But really, is that what she's saying? Is that what we're supposed to change our whole lives about? Because there's literally, Lord have mercy. Help us, Lord. What? Y'all, that is some crazy work. If that's what, because see, I also see this one. That's why maybe I was getting confused. I also see this one where it's round. This one right here is, I guess this one is hexagon. I guess I'll give it that. I'll take that. But the old one had nothing on it. Like, Candace, for real? And what is wrong with the hexagon? Can I get the knowledge on that one? Like, what is the conspiracy of a hexagon? Y'all, this woman keep playing in y'all faces. She's doing this on purpose. That's all I can say. Let's get done, Candace. Canaspiracy, continue.
Vaguely familiar or communist to you, the idea of worker bees. Yes, that's where it's from. So this sort of doom that I had about an underground happening, I was just like totally freaked out. It's a Soviet symbol, like the idea of making everybody into a worker bee. And whether you're on the left or the right, you should understand where the public school system comes from. Okay, it is shaped by Soviet ideology. I tell people a must-read book is Inside the American Education System by Thomas Sowell. It is not left or right. He is just telling you how it all came together. The decline, the deception, the dogmas, and how they are programming our children. You cannot unread that book after you read it, because you realize there's no such thing as being too hawkish. They know how to get things in there and how to pull children away from their parents, as it was designed in the Soviet system. Okay. Kindergarten, you're like, where does that word even come from? Well, it was established by the communists that tried to overthrow Germany and failed in 1848. Margaret Schurz's, her family came here, and those same communists wanted to make sure that they established kindergarten access to children. They then fought to make sure that we federalized the education system. These are the same people that pushed to make it so that homeschooling is not a thing, right? Like I said, the very reason they wanted to establish public education is because it is essential for radical ideology. They understand something that I think that we have maybe forgotten, which is that children are the most precious resource. The reason for that is because they are the future. One way or another, children are the future, okay? After Charlie's assassination, that feeling still did not dissipate, okay? I understood the imminent doom that I felt that was almost crippling was clearly related to that event. But I just know that all of these random lone shooter narratives that are being intentionally, we're being told that they're just lone shooters and then we don't really know anything else. I just feel it spiritually that these people are being programmed, and perhaps that is the reason why more often than not, they are being protected by our government. In other words, it is positively foolish for us to believe that the government just cannot tell us anything about these assassins. They wipe everything and they tell us nothing. Why would they do that? Yeah, and that guy, they're always working alone. There's no online history.
But that was the end of it. Actually, I realized it's transitioning to a new segment, which is about the lone shooter, and I'm not going to go into that one. Y'all can go check out our video if you want to. But I just want to say, like, the whole thing about the bees, if you can watch that and tell me that that does not sound like the machinations of a lunatic, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Because you came across a random Reddit post about bees, and you said you determined that what they were talking about was not what they were talking about. On your own strength, you determined that. And because there's something else we know about Candace. You know what we know about Candace?
I don't know, no, but I know. Okay. I don't know, no, but I know. It makes sense.
That's what we know. She doesn't know anything, but she will impose her own beliefs. She will hoist her own theories anywhere she wants to. She just throw them wherever. And Canaspiracy will not stop. Like I'm sorry. There's no way you can watch that and tell me that that is not the machinations of somebody that's probably having an event. I can't see it any other way. I don't know how she would have time to homeschool. I thought that was very interesting. And I was going to say, I'm going to get homeschool. Shout out to all homeschoolers and parents that homeschool. That's not something you just jump in. Oh, I'm just going to do it tomorrow. Just wake up tomorrow and start homeschooling. Some people transitioning from regular school or even transitioning into homeschooling take about 2 or 3 months, even longer, to get themselves ready to be ready to teach their little people. Because it's easy to get into to just say, we'll do it later. We'll just kind of tap in and tap out. It's easy to do that. But if you really want to be dialed in, you really got to be dialed in. You don't just do that on a whim. Oh, I'm just going to pull my kids out because I had a weird dream and now I'm going to homeschool. No, you don't do that. Shout out to all homeschool parents in the chat, like or those who know people who are homeschooled or you were homeschooled. Shout out to them. You don't do that on a whim. You don't do that on willy-nilly. She just doing it on the fly. Woke up one morning, had a bad dream, had some weird mustard on my dinner last night, gave me indigestion, had a strange dream. We're going to start homeschooling. Saw some bees, saw a hexagon, starting that homeschool. That's crazy work. It's not normal. But again, everybody in the Canaspiracy cult, make sure you sitting up here in the front of the church and you just decide if that makes sense to you. If that makes sense to you, then so be it. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do about it. I see your name is Buzz Kim. How on point is that? Shout out to Buzz Kim. She's the queen bee up in here. But again, man, if you were following Candace and that stuff made sense to you, okay, all right, I'll take it. I can't do nothing about it. There's nothing I can do. Okay. But all I want you to ask yourself, if you're a member of the Canaspiracy cult, do you understand why somebody like myself, the people in the best live chat on the internet, the most electrifying comment section on the planet, do you understand why we see this as weird? When we see this woman talking about bees, and hexagon, Utah was all about worker bees and people working together. So they are working together. That means there was a whole cabal that worked together to kill Charlie Kirk. Can you see why we might say, yeah, put the cell phone down and go touch some grass? Can you see that? Can you understand why we don't rock with that? Now, you can still hold on to it. Hold on to it as much as you want to. But can you understand why we don't rock with it? That's my question. But I do have another question as well. How great is MT? MT is amazing. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. That's this. $5 live coming right on time to prevent me from tearing my hair out while copying and pasting into spreadsheets. I'm assuming you're not a homeschool parent because, we just do that on the fly, probably from work. Shout out to you, MC. Thank you for the 5. And another one, hexagon, hexagram, gram, pentagram, Illuminati confirmed. There you go. President accounted for it. They're caught. What's Prince say right here? Thank you for the $2, sir. He says this. Type in AI, does the Utah State flag have hexagons? I had already searched it out, but, and I kind of, the first one I saw had the circle. And then when I closed it out, opened it back up, the one that opened up immediately was a hexagon, and that was it. So I kind of see it, but like, I don't understand why that's problematic though. That's the thing. But again, I don't get it, but shout out to MT again. Well, yeah, they're being programmed by social media, algorithms, algos, influencers, and people that trust, telling them that everyone they disagree with is a Yahtzee. There you go. And that's a great point. Thank you again for that. And then the $2 super as well. She has a nanny, so no additional work for her. But who's going to actually do the teaching, though? Who's going to do the actual schooling in the home? Who's going to do the schooling in the home? Q, don't you know that it's about the bees? It's all about the bees, the beehive. You got to watch. Q, you have to rewind and start over again. This is such a crazy story. And I'm really like, Canaspiracy, I can't take you seriously. Candiracy, I cannot take you seriously because that doesn't make sense. That's just crazy work. That's just crazy work. Oh, problematic because the hexagram is a Star of David. Wow, the Jews are catching it. The Jews are catching the strays even with the bees. Oh my gosh, you're right. Hold on, the star. Man, the Jews is catching it again. Man, even then. Yeah, you're right. It's right there. Okay. Put the little beehive in there. Bada boom, bada bing. Now we causing trouble. Man. Excellent point. Excellent point. Dang, they catching it even with the beehive, man. Them Jews can't do right for wrong. Man, bless their hearts. I didn't see it. I did not see it coming. I walked right into that 18-wheeler, hit me, smack, knocked me clean out. I did not see it. Oh, totally missed that, man. I'm kind of mad at myself now. I'm gonna put myself in timeout. What does Bell say? I'm behind on the video. I'm trying to catch up. And the bees, I can't. It's the bees, y'all. Come on, and I know the Candiracy people, there's a lot of them, man, and they be trying to be serious, but there's no way. Be serious that you want me to take this. I almost want to watch it again. That's how bad it is. I almost want to watch it again. You know what I'm going to do instead of that, though? Because I think this is hilarious.
I don't know, no, but I know. Okay? I don't know, no, but I know. It makes sense.
I don't know, no, but I know. Like, you just go to a random bulletin board. You see people talking about whatever it is they're talking about, Call of Duty. They're talking about composting. They're talking about whatever. And you assume that what they're talking about is not what they're saying. And there has to be some nefariousness to it. And I still don't understand how she made the jump from the bees to the school aspect. Because like bees are in a hive. Like if you say you saw a school of fish and they were all swimming backwards, then maybe that would make sense. Like, oh, something's going wrong in school. But it's a beehive. Like why? How did you derive that there was a problem in school? It's just wild, man. Yeah, the bees catching it, man. The bees catching the Jews now, man. Goodness gracious, I legit wanted to have bees in my own honey. Candace spying on me. Hey, bee harvesting is a big deal. We need pollinators, so that's cool. But man, this is embarrassing. Right, all of their patients. They won't let any of their patients listening to Canaspiracy. Oh my gosh, that's craziness, man. I don't know. That's a good question. Like, what do other bees, like, since the Star of David is in the beehive, is it fair to say that all of them, all bees, are in on the conspiracy? They're all in on it, man. God forbid one of y'all walk outside and get stung by a bee today. Do not blame it on me. So since pretty much I'm assuming all bees use the hexagon in their building, unless they have like a different kind of building permit or something. So are all the bees in on the take? Do all bees use hexagons? That's the question we need to ask. Because otherwise they're all in on the deal. And if you go outside and get stung by a bee, don't you dare come blame me. Don't you blame me. You just know that it's Canaspiracy did it. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine kids that graduate from Canaspiracy school? They're going to be a mess. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I bet you, in my opinion, she did this on a spur. Most people who homeschool are deeply committed to homeschooling. They don't just start today. They've been involved in the homeschool community for some time. And one of the things I've kind of gleaned from Candace is she does a lot of things knee jerk. She does a lot of things because something happened as a reaction, not her true conviction. Yeah, I'm talking about her converting to Catholicism. Yes, I am tacitly talking about her converting to Catholicism. Yes, I am talking about her moving to become a quote unquote conservative. Yes, I am talking about those things. But you didn't hear that from me. I just implied those. Anyway, I'm going to go on a limb. If she does, in fact, homeschool her kids, I'll give her a year, probably a year. No more than 12 months. Because it's, again, people who do homeschooling are committed to that. You don't just do that on a whim. You don't just wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm going to homeschool my kids. I saw a hexagon. I saw a hexagon. I saw the hexagon on the beekeeper website, and therefore I must pull my kids out. And I went over there to talk to the manager at the school, because you know good and well she went to that school and probably was being weird. You know it. You know she was being weird. What's your hiring practice? They're like, ma'am, they probably called police on her. So you know it. Because it wasn't normal. But some reason or another. How do you know? I'm sorry, how do you don't know? But you know, I don't know. But I know that I don't know what she's talking about. That's what I know. Why Battlestar Galactica? How did Battlestar Galactica catch strays? Everything's catching strays today, man. The poor Jewish folk getting it, the Battlestar Galactica getting it. I want to see Canaspiracy people go up against the Beehive, Beyonce's people. Those people are wild. But Bella, don't go too fast, because you got to hear that story about the bees. I'm sorry. You're going to have to convince me, and I will gladly do a live stream tonight. Maybe y'all can convince me. If you're a member of the Canaspiracy cult and you want to convince me that this story, this retroactive prophecy, because remember, she said nothing about it beforehand. All of this, foreboding, all of this internal consternation that she had been having, she said nothing about it until after almost 10 days, 15 days after Charlie Kirk died. All of a sudden, now she wants to talk about it. Okay. All right. Okay. She'd been going through all of this for all this time. And now all of a sudden she wants to talk about it. Okay. Y'all gonna have to tell us that this makes sense. I just want to know, like, how do you sell this, that this is a logical discussion? Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Bees are a cult. Are bees a cult? Oh my gosh. Now the bees are a cult. So then that means honey is like the elixir of the occult? Oh my gosh, man. There's a gentleman here in Atlanta, that in South Atlanta. So there's good things that come from South Atlanta. He has a bee keeping at a farm, and he produces honey, and it is fantastic. And I actually like it because it's local. So with my allergies that are killing me right now, and you can tell I haven't gotten in touch with them and get me any, just a little bit of honey along with my medicine works fantastic because I'm getting exposed to all of the different pollens that are really murdering me right now. It helps out significantly. So I actually need to get in touch with him about that, Travis, for sure. But I guess they're a cult now, man. Dog on it. She did say Communist Underground. She did say that. And I don't even like, how does that come into the mix? How did the commies catch this? Because we're looking at the Star of David, I'm sorry, hexagon, and some bees, some honeybees. The honeybees out here doing their thing. The hexagon is out here being a geometric shape. How did communists enter the chat? Please explain it. They wear small hats. Oh, man. Oh, James. I got to put you in a 0-second timeout, man. That's so silly. I'm going to put you in a 0-second timeout, man. Oh, James, that's messed up, man. No, not pay your honey taxes. Can I pay my taxes in honey? There you go. Well, BB, why do you think his name is BB? Bzz, see? BB is behind the bees. I'm convinced of it. Please let the Candace cult, please ask her this stuff. You just can't make, there's no way if I came up to you on the street, you're just downtown doing your thing with your family, maybe doing some shopping and some ice cream. You got your wife, your husband, your kids, right? You're out there just doing life. And I roll up on you. I come up on you and I start telling you this story. And you have one of two options. You can call your friends and say, yo, man, Jason just told me this great story about the bees and the hexagon and crazy stuff going on in school and the communists. Or you can call 911 and say, we have a crazy man running free. Which one are you going to do? Which one? Yo, this is crazy. There is no way in the world. This story, I'm just still kind of taken aback. Like, wait, he told this story like it was normal. Like, this is the kind of story I should be telling. Does anybody got a family member that just doesn't know, like doesn't know how to read the room, and they'll tell jokes, and you're like, or tell things, you're like, hey, that's not appropriate for right now. And they don't seem to have the understanding of right and wrong. When is the right time to say stuff? Candace just seems like that. Canaspiracy seems like that. Like, why in the world are you telling this story to us? And I just want to know. I don't think it's true. I really don't think it's true. I believe that she may have had a foreboding dream. Maybe, again, you had some bad pizza, you had a little bit extra, too much wine, you had a weird dream. I will give you that you had a weird dream. I believe the rest of that stuff she cobbled together. No, that's just it. Yo, not Candace be tripping. Stop it. Faithful Foundations. Now I got to put you in 0-second timeout. I don't know, Brian. I don't know, but I know. I got to do it again. I've been looking for this video. I was looking for this all morning.
I don't know, but I know. Okay. I don't know, but I know. It makes sense.
Oh, I got to add one more though, too.
But I don't like little lies. When there is one lie, there's 20.
I'm sorry, y'all. This thing is killing me. I don't believe her. Stop it. We are not doing B puns. I do not approve of this. Stop it. Oh my gosh. What's wrong with you people? Oh, that's too funny. She'll probably hire a teacher. Yeah. I think if she did homeschool, but then I think the next question would be, then why do it? Why do that? Why not just have a teacher? Because she's got kids. She got a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and I think 2 others, like 4 total. And one of them is like less than a year old. Like, what would be the purpose of that? Like, just send them to school. Stop it. Yeah. Shout out to Five. Prince says, I don't believe in her methods of her madness, but the search does say, I'm sorry, the result says it's there. Yes, the current Utah flag includes a dark blue hexagon in its shape. Yeah, I mean, it's there. I see it. The original one, though, let me show you the one when I first pulled it up, didn't have that. That was the only thing. Here's the one I originally pulled up. Let me share it right here. All right, so that's why I was originally like, wait, what are you talking about? So this is the one I originally saw. I was like, what are you talking about? That doesn't have a hexagon on it. It's got a little 5-point star right there. But apparently it's been revitalized. So I get it. So I'll accept that one. So when you the clip, where I'm saying where's the hexagon, is right there in front of me. So I will definitely take that. Thank you so much, Prince, for the $5 super as well. I don't believe her. No, not BB. Why are you people like this? BB's Bees is crazy work. That's what I'm saying. Like, at this point, Canaspiracy, nobody's taking you seriously. I thought she said a 5-year-old, but either way, 5 and 4, 3 and 1, no matter what, she's got a lot of kids under 6. That's a lot of teaching. Like, how are you gonna keep up with the 0-year-old and the 1-year-old while you're teaching, quote unquote, the 5 and the 4-year-old? That's gonna be a mess. And I don't know anybody, shout out to all homeschool parents. I don't know anybody that just does homeschooling without like major preparation. I mean, from the network to the curriculum to I have a good friend of mine that went to school with us. She and her family, they lay out all their field trips. They got everything planned before day one of quote unquote school, first day of school. They already got all that laid out. So there's very little downtime, very little, no productivity time. I dreamt about a butterfly. Should I buy a new house? There you go. I mean, Canaspiracy logic. Now, this is it though. Does a house have those French doors open up? If it has those French doors, you better get it. That's the Canaspiracy logic. Yeah, that's it, man. We're gonna start dream interpreting over here. I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. Man, y'all are wild. Y'all are not playing with Candace's emotions. Wait. Watch soon. She's gonna say that water in Flint, Michigan is making the frogs flamboyant. She did say something about the frogs. No, he's eating Honey Nut Cheerios, bro. LA Josh, brother, you are part of the conspiracy, brother. You part of the network, man. You with the Ninja Turtles in the levers and the valves and stuff. Yo, some of the stuff I feel bad because there's real lives. Like she called out a company that makes valves for various pipes as if they were in on cahoots. And like I know, somebody from the Canaspiracy cult has reached out, contacted that business. You know it. Now, they might not have doxed them and drug them through the mud, but one of them people did. Because, I mean, they just believe that stuff. That's crazy work, man. That's so scary. Oh, yes. So I'm going to be reaching out to Travis. I might need to text right now. What's going on, Lady Luck Club in the building? Don't throw out the honey. Chicky Brewer is a part of the conspiracy. That's how they know that you're in with them. If you have the honey in your house, they say, oh, you're one of us. That's how they know. And then you won't get stung by BB's bees or the frogs. Yeah, I cannot honestly believe this story is so crazy. I'm still taken aback. Like, wait, this person really said this. I almost want to watch it again. If you just jumped in, we got 190 people on the chat. Green hearts in the chat. If y'all want to just watch it again, just for laughs and giggles, and we'll just watch it. I won't comment or anything like that. I'm just, let me back and find it. If y'all want me to, just green hearts in the chat if y'all want to, because I'm really finding it hard to believe this is real. You can't do it. These are drones. Okay. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to back it up further. So shout out. Thank you for the green hearts. Actually, I'm going to show a longer portion of that segment where she's talking about them, she and Charlie buying airline tickets to London or Europe or something like that. And how she got to it leads into the B conversation. I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be in the chat with y'all. But this is the craziest thing, man. Shout out to the best live channel on the internet. All right, y'all, let's do this. Pray for your boy. Pray for your boy.
That he was there when I met my husband, and he says it's a really fun story. And it is a fun story. It's actually a totally fun, crazy story of how I met my husband, because I had something that came over me, and that's the only way I can describe it. And I get all of the conspiracies online when people were like, there's no way her and her husband got engaged after 18 days. That's exactly how it happened. Okay. I didn't know him. I never even saw his face 18 days prior. And I'm with Charlie. We're hitting the ground running. And I'm just like, I feel compelled that we must go to the UK. It was, when I say, the most overpowering thing ever. I was like, Charlie, we got to go to the UK. We got to go to the UK. We should go to the UK. We should go to London. And he's like, man, why? Why do you want to go to London? I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like we're supposed to be there. I feel like we've got to be there for an event. And I did something that I had never done. I took Charlie Kirk's credit card, and I was like, I'm going to find flights and just book it. And then you just figure out, maybe it means we're supposed to start, Turning Point UK. If there's energy there, that was a part of his vision. He wanted Turning Point to be global, and he had people that were interested in the UK. And so I'm showing you this very old text message chain from that time between me and Charlie, where I never looked at flights, but I booked these flights. And I was like, look, the flights are dirt cheap. Remember why I see to London, $450 in coach or $1,200 in first class. And he's like, wow, let's book it. All right. We booked the flights. And then suddenly I realized the reason that I had this overwhelming feeling to be there was because I was supposed to be my husband. And the only thing I can say is that it was an intuition. We describe it, that it had to have been God. We had just had no other reason to be there. And then Charlie set up a speaking event with some people that had been interested. And sure enough, we were there to help Turning Point UK get set up. Anyways, this overwhelming feeling I had never experienced something like that since, until about a week before, or actually, 10 days before Charlie got assassinated. And so I'm going to explain that to you, because you guys who watch this podcast might have realized something, that we took the show off air randomly for the first couple of days in September. So I will describe to you exactly what happened. There at first was a elementary school shooting that happened at a Catholic school, and I was just concerned in a way that I had never felt so impacted. And I was going, something isn't right. Something is just not right. And I felt that there was some sort of an infiltration that was happening at schools. And the best way that I can describe it in a sentence is that I sensed that the danger wasn't stopping there, and that more was coming, and that I needed to take a look at just the process of hiring people at the school that my children were going to attend. And I did just a cursory online search, and some messages I found, which were not written by a teacher at the school, but someone who was adjacent to some teachers at the school, gave me pause for concern. In fact, explicitly what it was a Polish underground symbol, like a Polish communist underground symbol that nobody would have recognized outside of people who know what it meant. And I just sort of went, okay, that's weird. I kept looking online, and strangely, I'm not kidding, and I'm going to show you these messages, I came across what looked to me like a bunch of people talking about bees. You're going, okay, so what do you, like, literally bees. in a way that the only way I can describe it to you is like they were speaking about bees, but they weren't speaking about bees. It was very coded. And I'm going, am I going crazy? Or do you think that all these people are really actually, quote unquote, bee farmers or saying that they farm bees? What is this lingo that I'm not understanding? Why do I feel like it's related to students? I didn't feel good about it at all. And I just sensed that we needed to get more involved, to go to the school, to ask about the process of hiring, to see if they needed more security. They were kind of giving up me the thing that teachers do now when you ask any questions about what happens at the school, which is they make you think like, why do you want to know? Like, we just do whatever we want to do. It's like, I don't know. My children are like 5 and 4, actually. Parents should, of course, we need to be more involved. Like, how did we get here that we feel like we're crazy for asking questions about the hiring practices at schools? And the feeling just didn't go away. I can show you this actually, because I was thinking like, I said to my husband, there is some weird underground, it's like I sense like imminent danger is coming. And for some reason, I feel like there is an underground that has emerged at schools and it's like related to bees. That's what I said. And I messaged multiple people about this, my sister. Here are a couple of more text messages to other people. You can look at the time frame here. This is 8:30, August 30th. This is September 1st when we went off air. September 2nd, we were off air. And I started talking about people that were discussing bees in a way that didn't make sense. I'm like, I don't know if this is drugs. I don't know what it is, but it's weird. And so in a sentence, I just said, there's imminent danger coming. Okay. It is relating to a school. I think it's a communist underground and I don't know why, but it has something to do with bees. Totally sensible thing to say to your husband. Oh, and we need to hire more security. And we did. We hired more security that very week. And I was just frantic about it. And we made the decision that we needed to homeschool immediately and started the process, pulled our kids out of homeschooling and starting to interview people. But it wasn't enough. Like, despite hiring more security, despite taking my kids out of school, I still had a sense of dread. The Tuesday night, the night before Charlie got assassinated, I had book club and I felt like I needed to emphasize to people in book club that it was time to take their kids out of school. Like, take your kids out of school. Something, danger is happening right now. And I'm going to show you a clip. Obviously, this is all behind the paywall of what I said to people that are in the book club. Take a listen. I'm homeschooling my kids. I'm so excited. I'm like very excited. I'm embarking on this recent decision. And it is just, I can't explain to you when a weight got lifted off of my shoulders, because I was like, I can't just speak about this. Like, we have to do it and show people that it can be done. And I'm so glad that my sister was who did it first, because I was like, my sister, it was very difficult for her to do this. She's got to wake up super early, but seeing her do it made me go, my older sister, I was like, what is wrong with me? Of course I can do this. And again, this weight being lifted off my shoulders of like, you don't get my kids. This whole system, this whole matrix, got to send your kids to school so we can what? Indoctrinate them mentally. In some schools, there's abuses that are happening, like, and I just have to take the risk and give you my child, like my small child, and then you're going to gaslight me. This is what happened. Actually, I was like asking the school basic questions, like, because I was only going to put them in like, a little daycare program, pre-K program, and like I was like, ask questions like, how do you hire people? And they were like, you don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared? I'm like, okay. Bye-bye. See you never. Don't make me think that I'm weird for being a mom. Okay. Don't make me believe or try to sell to me this idea that we're sharing these kids. These are your students. These are my kids. And if you don't understand that, then they can't be your students. That's it. That was on September 9th. Okay. Then came September 10th. Obviously, Charlie lost his life. And a few days later, I was told, and I sensed instantly that there was like a hive of people that were involved in this. I just knew it. And when it happened, I just went, oh my goodness. And my gut is telling me that this was the thing, that the dread that I sensed that was coming out of school. And I had no idea. I am not a flag person at all. And then someone told me, and I was astonished that Utah recently, extraordinarily, did modernize their bee flag. I had no idea that the Utah state flag is a hexagonal beehive, right? And unbeknownst to me, that it has always been the beehive state. So in 2024, they modernized their flag. but they've always been known as the beehive state. And to be clear, it's not because they make honey. It's not because they have a high presence of bees. In fact, in terms of making honey or bee-related products, they rank number 24. It's actually the beehive state. It relates to the Mormon church, the Church of Latter-day Saints. Early Mormon pioneers founded that state, and they liked the idea of a beehive working toward a common good. Now, if that sounds vaguely familiar or communist to you, the idea of worker bees, yes, that's where it's from. So this sort of doom that I had about an underground happening, I was just like totally freaked out. It's a Soviet symbol, like the idea of making everybody into a worker bee. And whether you're on the left or the right, you should understand where the public school system comes from. Okay, it is shaped by Soviet ideology. I tell people a must-read book is Inside the American Education System by Thomas Sowell. It is not left or right. He is just telling you how it all came together. The decline, the deception, the dogmas, and how they are programming our children. You cannot unread that book after you read it, because you realize there's no such thing as being too hawkish. They know how to get things in there and how to pull children away from their parents as it was designed in the Soviet system. Okay. Kindergarten, you're like, where does that word even come from? Well, it was established by the communists that tried to overthrow Germany and failed in 1848. Margaret Schurz's, her family came here, and those same communists wanted to make sure that they established kindergarten access to children. They then fought to make sure that we federalized the education system. These are the same people that pushed to make it so that homeschooling is not a thing, right? Like I said, the very reason they wanted to establish public education is because it is essential for radical ideology. They understand something that I think that we have maybe forgotten, which is that children are the most precious resource. The reason for that is because they are the future. One way or another, children are the future, okay? After Charlie's assassination, that feeling.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there because it kind of goes, she transitions into talking basically about her new theory is that there's multiple assailants in the Charlie Kirk whoop-de-doo. I opened up this episode by asking all of the Canaspiracy cult members to come on up here to the front of the church. Come on up here and have a seat. If you came in late, come on in here. There's 225 people and you didn't already jump in. Make sure you hit that like button though. Come on up here to the front of the church. I just want you to tell me, you can still rock with Candace. I'm trying to dissuade you from rocking with Candace. But the story that we just heard, does that sound like something that a sane person who's not given to conspiracies, by the way? Candace is so involved in conspiracies. I've given up. I'm selling all my tinfoil hat stock. I don't want anything to do with conspiracies anymore because she done made conspiracies look crazy. Sometimes they're just supposed to be fun. Like, oh, this is a weird little conspiracy, whatever. She's gone. I'm selling all my stock in tinfoil hats. I give up. I'm quitting. But I just want to know, does what we just saw with her getting, again, a delayed prophecy, because she said nothing about this prior to Charlie Kirk's demise. Now, if it's out there somewhere, let me know. But now, because I started out by saying she's kind of like those prophets that come out after an event happens and they got all the word from the Lord. The Lord showed me, 8 days ago, 9 years ago, I knew this was going to happen, but they didn't say anything about it until it actually happened. Go figure. Does this sound reasonable? What she said? She took her kids out of school because she went to a beekeeper's website and she didn't know what they were talking about. So she concluded that they were talking about something nefarious. And so she took her kids out of school. I still don't know how the bees became the school of now. I don't understand that. And I've watched it 3 times now. I just want you to ask yourself, if you're a Candiracy supporter, does this seem reasonable that somebody sane would follow this track? I'm not saying that you're not sane. I'm just saying if the normal person heard this, would they say, oh yeah, this is something I should follow. I should roll with this. Is that what And my last question, and then I'll be done. I do believe she's trolling us. I believe she's trolling the entire world. I do believe that. But my last point is, if you're a Canaspiracy cult member, can you see why 214 people that are in the best live chat on the internet, the countless people that'll be in the most electrifying comment section on the internet, can you see why we don't agree with Candace? I know why, and I can fully understand why Candace cult members rock with Candace. I understand why. I understand it. I totally get it. Can you see why I don't rock with Candace? I want to know, can you at least step back and say, hey, I can understand where Jason's coming from. I can understand where Lady Luck Club is coming from. I can understand where Kimberly's coming from. I can understand where Faithful Foundation's coming from. Can you do that? Can you, as a Candace Canaspiracy cult member, can you say, okay, I can see what they're saying. Yeah, this story, it's a little strange, but I believe it. But I can understand why they don't agree with it. Can you understand that? That's my questions. So, because it doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I'm done with it. I'm not going to talk anymore about it. I'm going to take Candace off the screen. I'm going to shout out to these great shout out. Thank you so much, Rog Peru, for the $2 super. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. And Lauren is a new member. Laura, please forgive me, is a new member. She said, Jay Witt, the beekeeper. Absolutely. She's been a member for 4 months. Shout out to her. Thank you so very much for rocking with us, Laura. I appreciate you. I said new and you've been here for 4 months. I apologize. I wanted to just bring this up. Now I'm just talking to all the congregation, no longer just talking to the Canaspiracy cult members. But I just thought this was really interesting. I do think, and Lady Luck Club has kind of said it, I do think that it is possible that she's playing a game on us all. It is possible that Candace Owens is playing us all. She knows that she likes attention. She knows that this kind of stuff gives her attention. And so she just does what gets her attention. And she's going to keep doing it. And maybe she doesn't believe any of this at all. She's just doing it for the clicks and giggles. I don't know. But what I do know for a fact is that story is crazy. And that story, I'm like, there's no way in the world I would have put that out there. There's just no way. I did see somebody say that the bees are Mossad. Y'all are wild. She's probably Mossad. Well, I mean, I feel like I can make the argument about why she could be pro-Israel and she's doing all this as a psyop. I can make the argument. I've heard actually somebody make that argument. What's going on, John? What does John say this? Canaspiracy is a man. Change my mind. Sue me. Not for $2. We ain't gonna sue you for $2. But a lot of the stuff that she did to Brigitte Macron could be done exactly to her. Exactly. I don't believe you're a man. I mean, I don't believe you're a woman. Nope. Got to show me proof. Got to show me evidence. I need to see DNA. I need to see pelvic scans. Like, that's crazy work. I do think she does it for the click. I think there's a benefit to the clicks, but I'm having a hard time believing that she actually believes this now. This one was pretty bad. And I've heard other ones that are bad, but this one right here, I'm like, you got to be, wait, hold on, what? Personally, I still think the valves and somebody shot Charlie Kirk from underground. I still think that one is the worst. I still think that's the worst. But this one is definitely a tight second, if not vying for first place, depending on what day it is. All right, what we got? Wait, bees? Y'all stop. See, I had to read that. Michael said bees are Israeli drones. That's next to come up. What? Why y'all like this? Y'all need, if you're doing this, you need to ask yourself, why am I like this? You just got nachos. You just got to ask yourself, why am I like this? Just ask yourself. It's very possible. It might be Mr. and Mr. Macron. It's very possible. Lots of good conversation. Let me drop this right here. Lots of good comments in the chat. Thank y'all so much. This is a troll too far even for her. I don't disagree, but like, I don't know. I'm just thinking like, it has to be a joke. It has to be a joke. You're literally saying that bees gave you a foreboding message that something was going to happen at a school. And because the Utah flag has a hexagon on, not just a beehive, but a hexagon, that meant something about it. Because she never does say why the hexagon is bad. Now, we've talked about it. We've talked about it here, but she never says it openly. So I wonder why she didn't say it. We got a new member, Faithful Foundation, in the building. A new member. Shout out to Faithful. Even though I did put you in early 0-second timeout, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Oh, you know what? I got sound effects. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. We gotta get because otherwise,
I don't know, no, but I know. Okay, I don't know, no, but I know. It makes sense.
The fact that she overemphasized that's the part that just takes my breath away. Like, wait, you said that again. Like you really meant that thing. Oh, okay. That's some wild stuff. Oh, I'm sure she did. I'm sure, Derek, there's no question about that. There's no question in my mind at all. All right, just looking through the best live chat on the planet. Thank you so much. All right, lots of good conversation. Hey, I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me for real. Unbelievable. There are some instances where, shout out to Lady Luck Club. By the way, y'all go check out Lady Luck Club. She's been talking about Candace as well as other great content. So go check out what she's doing over there. There are some instances where I watch some of her content to, of course, share with you all. And I really do question, does she believe this? And I've asked myself, who is she saying this to? Is she saying this to me to convince me to believe it? Or is she saying this to herself to get herself to believe this? Because some of it just doesn't make sense. It does not sound like you are actually confident in this. So, okay. If you just jumped in, you got to go rewind. We just watched Candace tell a story about bees and how bees gave a foreboding message about what was going to happen to Charlie Kirk. It's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of wild stories that she's told. And I still think the Ninja Turtle one, the Secret Caverns, was probably worse, but this one unequivocally is definitely up there. So it's definitely second place, if not vying for first. All right, let's see what we got. Seriously, thank you for the laugh. I've been getting really frustrated with all of the Canaspiracies. Well, hey, look, let me tell you. Thank you so much, Nacho. I appreciate you as well. This is kind of frustrating because I realize that I've seen TikToks now where people are being extremely disrespectful to Erica Kirk. And I don't even want to bring them up. And I'm like, where did they get this from? I wonder where they got, a lot of the shenanigans in the zeitgeist are from Candace. The $150 million, a lot of people are retelling that story and saying it's been confirmed by Candace. So a lot of the things that we're dealing with, it is frustrating to see. You're like, wait, hold on. There are people who are going to be inadvertently impacted by this, and they don't even know why. They don't know why people are mad at them, why people are doxing their business or this, that, and the other. And Candace is over here just willy-nilly doing that. So it is frustrating to see. And it's kind of sad to know that I'm hoping that there's some kind of repercussion, that they can get some kind of relief, because there should be. It's sad to see that. Again, you can just be this mad reckless. You can just be saying this kind of randomness, putting out people because they make a valve, or putting out people because they're bee farmers, and now they out here getting the side eye. That's crazy. People at the farmers market beating them up because they got bees and they got the little hexagon on their logo. What's the problem with the hexagon? Like, how? Okay. I think that's unequivocal, Kimberly. I think she's gonna get somebody hurt, and I don't think she even cares. Oh no, not partaking too much on the wine at Mass. Oh no. What is going on? Y'all, shout out to Legend. Is that the heavy metal lawyer in the building? What's going on, heavy metal? Good to see you, friend. Grace and peace to you. Yeah, I hate it because I'm like, she's putting people in harm's way for no reason. And let me also say this before the Canaspiracy people miss the plot, because your queen bee, she be missing the plot. So I want to make sure y'all don't miss the plot. I'm not saying that you cannot ask questions. I'm not saying to go trust the government and everything they do, walk lockstep. I've never said that. And I won't say that because I don't believe that. What I am saying, what I do believe, is that we need to give them time to at least get the fundamentals down. Remember, Candace was out here with these conspiracies on Thursday, right? Charlie Kirk's body had barely been cold yet. She's on these conspiracies on Thursday. She was surfing ideas out there Thursday. That's crazy work. And she went full bore on Friday. So all I'm saying is pump the brake. There's no need to rush. They'll still be talking about this, sad to say, they'll be talking about this in a year. There'll still be unanswered questions. They'll say, hey, the case is closed. We found this, that, and the other. This is what happened. And there'll still be questions that are not going to be answered. They're not going to answer all of Candace's questions, my questions, Chicky Brewer's questions, or heavy metal lawyers' questions. So we just accept, like, hey, I'm not going to get all these questions answered. And that be the case. And you know what? They're not going to, if the FBI does not come back and tell us that they found the Ninja Turtles in that little secret cavern under the school, you know what? I'm just going to have to accept it. They didn't find the Ninja Turtles. I'm just going to have to accept it. They just didn't look hard enough, but it's okay. I don't think that Michelangelo, Donatello, Raphael, or Leonardo were a part of the murder of Charlie Kirk. It's okay. But these people, why are y'all like this? But the mad rush, and then to be demanding, not literally 8 days afterwards, that they're not telling us enough. I need to set the mommy sleuths on. The FBI needs to let the mommy sleuths get out here and do what they're doing, which is crazy work. That's just ridiculous. And she's muddying up the water, because now I'm reading on TikTok, I'm watching on other social platforms where people are saying things and retelling her stories as if they're gospel truth. They're calling into question Erica's sincerity and this, that, and the other. Was she a part of it? Was she a part of the cabal, the beehive to put away Charlie? And of course, we're not going to even bring up what she says about Jewish people. So my point is, back around the block, is all of this stuff only creates new problems, and it only muddies the water, throwing more silt into the water, more junk into the water, while the FBI and law enforcement, whether they're doing a good job or not, we can have that discussion. But we cannot say, and we cannot impugn and say they're not trying to do it. It's a big cover up. It's again, a conspiracy between the bumblebees and the Ninja Turtles. This woman is serious, y'all. If you didn't watch earlier, she literally, she got an epiphany from some bees. And I'm like, there's no way you can be serious about this. And a shout out to Legend. She needs to be more responsible with her platform. Like, she literally has people scouring the interweb, feeling like they're a part of her relationship, in this parasocial relationship, out there doing the work for the Canaspiracy. And they're out there saying some mad, reckless stuff. I mean, we're just going to pretend like we didn't hear her earlier impugn that Turning Point USA was involved in it. We've already heard her say that. So she done went from Israel and Bibi Netanyahu to now Turning Point. There's a traitor in Turning Point. This is crazy work. And let me just say the last thing. Since Legend is here, I want to ask a question. Shout out to Legend. If you all don't follow him, he is a fantastic content creator and he is a lawyer. So he actually came on a couple of weeks ago and we talked about Candace as it relates to the Macron case. But I'm going to ask a question here. Candace made this big, Candaspiracy made this long diatribe about the fact that soon after Charlie Kirk had been assassinated, you can see on camera one of the Turning Point people securing the camera and taking the SD card out. And she made this big hugabaloo as if there was some kind of nefariousness. And based upon her information, she knew the person. She was able to contact the person because she did used to work for Turning Point. She knew the person. She contacted the person and said, hey, what's on that SD card? And lo and behold, allegedly, the person showed her what was on the SD card, showed her the video of what happened to Charlie Kirk right after, I'm sorry, she saw it. And she said, well, basically there was not a lot of blood. There was no blood, blah, 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 blah. My only question, my concern is that piece of evidence, if in fact it happened, that piece of evidence would be used during the trial of Tyler Robinson, if I'm correct. However, now, because some random person at Turning Point USA showed the evidence to a random blogger, podcaster, Canaspiracy, that evidence, if I'm not mistaken now, Legend, is now tainted. You cannot use that evidence because it was shown, again, allegedly, because I don't know how truthful that story is. But I'm wondering, does that in fact make that evidence now no longer usable? Because it was used, it was not handled correctly, because this dude just got it at his crib, allegedly, and he's just showing it to Candace Owens, allegedly. You can still use the evidence unless there is an issue with whether or not it has been doctored. Okay, shout out then. Not a problem. Thank you so much. And so I was wondering about it, so I'm glad that you jumped into the best live chat on the internet to keep me straight. Thank you so much. Okay, just reading through here. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Legend. I appreciate you, man. Y'all go over and check out what Legend is doing. Can you please, moderators, please make sure that we drop Legend's URL to his channel in the chat. And y'all tell him to come back over here so we can do another video. We gotta do a collab. That's what we need to do. We need to spam Legend in the chat and say, get over here. What do we got here? If it was sold to TMZ or whatever, then it makes it sound shady. But the bottom line question is whether or not the judge can say it's trustworthy. Okay, shout out. Okay, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Legend. No, she never showed proof. She just said it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't even think, Erica, it really happened, in my opinion, based upon information and belief. I don't believe it happened. I just don't. There's no reason to believe. And this is my last thing. I know I told the Canaspiracy cult members that y'all can go back to your seats, but I do want y'all Canaspiracy people to come right back up here to the front of the church real quick. Not going to be long, super short. This is my question for the Canaspiracy cult people. Ask Candace why she never follows up. If you start paying attention, she'll say something like, oh, I got this evidence. I'll show you later. Oh, somebody told me I can't tell you who that person is. This piece of, I have this file. Trust me, bro. It's pernicious. She does it a lot. Why does she do that? Why does she never follow back up? Never follow back up. Say, hey, on yesterday's show, I told you XYZ. Today, here's XYZ. If showing a screenshot of your conversation with Charlie Kirk, text messages with Charlie Kirk, was so easy, then can you show us the text messages of how you know that Benjamin Netanyahu's letter was fake? Can you just show us the letter that Benjamin Netanyahu had that's fake? Can you show us it? Remember the same thing that you said, if y'all don't release it, I'm going to release all the evidence. Remember that? And no evidence has ever been released. So to the Canaspiracy cult members, ask her, why does she not follow through? Why is she the queen of getting something started but never finishing it up? Like, for real. Like, that's a very valid question for you to ask Candace. I guess somehow or another, Jennifer, I guess hexagons somehow or another had something to do with the Jewish people. I don't get it. Hey, thank you, Legend. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. The Beekeeper did it. There was a movie, wasn't it a movie with Jason Statham called The Beekeeper? I'm almost certain. His name is Jason. My name is Jason. He's bald. I'm bald. Look, if my camera goes out, don't blame it on me. It was the bees. Oh, sorry. That's me. The bees got me. All right. Yeah, I would. It's Legend in the building. Absolutely. Okay, y'all good people. I thought that was so wild. And I want y'all to, Mossad Beekeeper. Why are you people like this? If it happens, I'm going to throw some money in on it. I got 5 on it for sure. They need to, because I mean, she's besmirching people. She's got people looking weird. Like that dude with the camera. If that dude really did give vital information, which, by the way, you know what, Legend? I got another question. You got time, Legend? If I drop the link, could you jump on? If you can. If not, don't worry about it. It's okay. We'll do another day. I'm gonna put the link down here, Legend. If you can. This is for Legend and Legend only. He's got his camera on, hopefully. Don't be coming up in here, no Candaspiracy legends. I don't need no Candaspiracy legends. Yeah, when she doesn't show receipts, it's just theory, but she pushes it like it's fact. Absolutely. So I got a question, Legend, by the way. If you got a second, I'll try not to keep it long. Yeah, that was a perfect. Jen Psaki used to do that too. We'll circle back. Y'all, you all in these bees is crazy. He's in the office. Okay, it's okay. So my question is, let's just pretend that the guy got up there, he took the SD card out of the camera that was directly behind Charlie Kirk. And let's just say the camera got everything. It caught everything about what happened to Charlie Kirk. Another angle of it. Wouldn't that be evidence that the FBI and the police and all those investigators would have probably secured fairly quickly in their investigation and securing data and securing evidence? Like, how did this dude get to take the SD card home and put it in his junk drawer? How did that work? That makes no sense. That's why I don't believe it's true. I'm like, I don't believe the FBI has done everything. I don't believe they dotted every I and they crossed every T like they should. Okay. But so this dude, again, I don't know who he is, but he knows that Candace has told the story because he knows his face is out there. So now people in Turning Point are looking at this dude like, wait, you gave that woman the video instead of giving it to the police? And by the way, the police are looking like, wait, you had an SD card and you didn't give it to us? This dude could lose his livelihood fooling around with her or her telling the story. And what if she wasn't telling the truth? That's crazy word. Erica, thank you so much. She says this with the $5 super for the entertainment at work. makes the afternoon go by. Oh, wait, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hold on. We got a legend in the building. Oh, and he's froze. Oh, no.
I'm here.
Okay, there we go. Grace and peace, friend. How are you?
Hey, man, can you hear me?
I can, absolutely.
What's up, guys? I couldn't resist.
A legend.
Am I live right now?
Yeah, you are.
All right, I don't have my headphones, so it's going to get a lot of feedback. So I'll answer the question. So yeah, that is definitely evidence that the police would use. I didn't hear the last part of the question because I had to mute because I had double audio. But tell me what was the last part of the question.
So if Candace shows a video of them breaking down the set, and the guy is Charlie Kirk had been dead for maybe like 5 minutes. And the gentleman, he works for Turning Point. He goes up and you can see him. He grabs the camera that was right behind Charlie Kirk's head. And you can see him take the SD card out. And so my question is, wouldn't the FBI and the police and all that kind of stuff, wouldn't they have wanted the SD card? Because I mean, it's probably one of the more clearer images. She making sound like the dude had the card at his house.
Yeah, I don't know what she's thinking. I didn't hear what she said, but absolutely, that guy probably is turning it over to the police right away. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that he had that was chaos, right? So I'm surprised that guy had the wherewithal to be like, I got to get this video taken because someone's going to knock this camera down. Someone's going to steal something. I don't know what. And he got the SD card because that's pointing at the shooter then, right? Because it's behind Charlie.
It was right behind Charlie. So it was like, right. Let me find a video. Let me see. So she talks about it and she goes over it. And I'm like, wait, that should have been evidence that, you know, the gumshoe should have collected like almost immediately. I don't believe it.
The gumshoe.
The gumshoes, man. They should have collected it immediately. I can't believe they would have let that go. Like that's like leaving the body there, for crying out loud. That's almost like one of the most important piece of evidence right there is the doggone cameras.
I think that if they didn't collect it, that guy should turn it in. And even if he didn't turn it in yet, they should be knocking on his door by now and be like, hey, dude, where's that video? We saw you collect it.
Yeah.
And they probably would do that. I would imagine they would do that.
So I'm going to pull this in real quick. And I'm going to cut the audio so we can talk. Again, thank you so much, man, for jumping in with me, man. This is amazing.
I got like 5 more minutes. I have to run to court, but yeah.
Okay. Well, throw the book at him, man. Throw the book at him. Okay, so, all right, there. Okay, so there's a camera right there. You see it?
Oh, I see it. Yeah. I didn't.
Okay, so in a moment, you're going to see the guy come and get it. So there he is right there. He's under the camera. It's not chaotic. Everything's, you know, they've already gotten everybody ushered out. And you see him right there. He's still standing under the camera. He's looking around. Now, he works for Turning Point. So he's not a shady fellow or anything of that nature. He gets up, and there he goes. He's going to get. And, well, the cameraman wasn't interested in it, but he got the SD card out and takes the camera down.
I don't see that seems normal. Like,
right.
They took the tent down. They also took the tables away. I mean, it's not going to leave everything. It's like, you know, they're not going to do
right.
that.
Now, let Candace tell the story, and we're not going to listen to her, but when she's telling the story, it's super nefarious. Like, how dare he? Why? Why is legend? I mean, it's super, like, you could add the creepy sound effects to the back of it. She makes it sound super, like, he moved the chair. Oh, here's another image of it, right? Like, see, oh, look, why is he doing that? Why is he moving that?
Wow, the zoom
like
in.
Right? She was she was extra on that. But my point was, that's evidence. I would think that they would have gotten that within an hour or so if they knew that there was a camera there. I don't think, but she makes sound the dude got it at his crib. He got the SD card over here on his desk. And she allegedly saw what it was.
Yeah, I don't see anything weird about that. The cops probably want it, but maybe they don't need it. I don't know. Like, thanks, we got it. We know the guy did it and whatever, you know, they might not need it. Like,
right.
What is she trying to insinuate? Now, I didn't see it. I didn't see what she said. Is she trying to insinuate that, like, there's like another shooter or something caught on this camera?
Well, she insinuates that she doesn't see any blood. She was really torqued off about the presence or lack of blood. because I don't know if you saw it, but we all saw it initially.
I think
Yeah, it was
telling about it. I
yeah,
had
that was,
that shook me. We saw the blood. I mean,
right. But apparently this angle doesn't show blood for some reason. And so there's some nefariousness because you don't see blood. It was the biggest muckrake I've ever seen. Like, why are you in, why? Like, it's frustrating because I'm like, you're creating new problems. And now this guy, this dude, that whether or not she really connected with him or not is not the argument. Now people are going to be looking at him sideways. Like, wait, dude, you gave this information to Candace? Like, for real?
Yeah, that's weird. But also, like, the fact that there's no blood, I can tell you right now, he was shot on the left side. That camera was on his right side, so maybe the camera didn't capture the blood. Like, just, I don't know.
Right.
By the way, guys, update on my finger. Remember last time I was here, my finger was busted. I went to a doctor. It's like he gave me this thing. Everyone thinks it's like a ring, like some like hipster ring. It's not. It's a brace that the doctor designed. It's kind of cool, and it like it's straightening out my finger, and like my finger's actually healing. It's been like weeks.
It's been a minute, yeah.
Like it's not. Anyways, that's what I gotta run. But what questions
you got?
Give me.
That's it, man.
I got like 2 more minutes.
Get out of here, man. Go all right, throw somebody in jail. You know where to find me, though.
I couldn't resist you guys.
I love it, man. Well, thank you, Legend.
I had a meeting. I was like, let me see what Jaywood's saying. This crazy guy. I love this channel. It's so balanced. So I was like, yeah. But yeah. All right. Maybe I'll come back on another time. But
you know what? Maybe I'll let you come back on.
Oh yeah. I'll see you guys. All right.
See you soon, friend. Take care.
All right. See you. Bye.
Bye now. All right. That is Legend, the heavy metal lawyer. Shout out to him. Great friend of the channel. Thank you so much for the moderators for dropping his link in the chat. And I just was wondering, like, do the police, somebody said, like, the police don't need everything. And that's cool. And there it is right there. Police don't need everything. And that's fine. I just thought that it's the story that she told seemed very, very cavalier and very, in my opinion, extremely reckless, considering who Candace is. Not just, the guy had the SD file at home and didn't share with anybody, but allegedly if he shared it with Candace, that's a bad look for him. So I just thought that was just such a weird story for her to tell. But that's just my little 2 cents there for sure. But by the way, thank you so much, Amethyst Angel. What does Amethyst Angel with the $10 super say? Besides the fact that I owe Candiracy to Amethyst Angel, because I think she sent it to me in a text or an email. So if you like Canaspiracy, is really Amethyst Angel. Shout out to Amethyst Angel. She says this: hexagon is the strongest shape known. Not many people know this, but if you want something to hold a lot of weight, pick a hexagon. Hexagonal patterns are prevalent in nature due to their efficiency. Shout out there. So why was Candace so torqued off by seeing the hexagon in the Utah flag? That thing right there just cracks me up. That's just amazing to me. That's just amazing. Like, why is that the thing though? Okay, fine. I think that makes sense. I've heard of that. Hexagonal shapes. Absolutely. Then why is Candace acting like that's a brand new, like a new conspiracy? Candiracy. Like, don't make it something bigger than it needs to be. But all right. I see lots of good conversation. I call it family reunion. Lots of good family reunion going on in the chat. And people don't really care to be problem solvers to society's issues. That could be a full stop right there. That could be a full stop, Glam. They like to point the blame. No question right there, full stop. I agree 100%. The Soviet, but is that, okay, the Soviets make their children worker bees. I've heard that in other societies as well, but is the idea to say that making worker bees, which by the way, I don't think we should just make worker bees, but is the idea to say that she had a premonition about bees. She saw the bees on the website. There was a school event at the Catholic school. And so therefore, what does that mean about Charlie Kirk? And again, that's the part I don't get. Like, what does that mean about Charlie Kirk? Just such an interesting take. What do I think about Christian musicians like Isaiah Robbins believe in the Canaspiracy cult juice? It's not a good look. We haven't heard both sides of the story and all the different angles and such like that. And even more than that, I think there's just something that we have to consider. I don't live in Utah. I'm not from Arizona. I'm not deeply related to or tied to Turning Point USA or University of Utah. Was it Utah State Valley University? Anything of that nature. It really doesn't impact me like that. Therefore, I don't need to make it the high part of my life. I can still be interested in it, but I recognize that it needs to be properly framed. I'll put this in the exact same boat. Last night, we were having a discussion about why I'm not one of those free Palestine people. And because I got other stuff I need to be doing. And I'll put this in the same boat. I'm not going to go into the deep conspiracy land because I got other things to do. So I don't know if it's the best look. Shout out to you, Nacho. I don't think it's the best look for Christians to get too caught up in this, especially a conspiracy that's, I mean, to me, it's more cut and dry than conspiracy, but there are true bona fide conspiracies out there that are like, heavy metal tinfoil hat kind of game. But this right here, to me, is not as much a conspiracy as much as it's been raked up and mucked up and confused because of people making conspiracies. So I don't know if it's a good look for Christians to be too far, to buy into this too far. That would be if that person asked me, that's what I would say. Do we really know that he shared the video with her? And I'm going to stop right there. No, we really don't. But she told the story as if, in fact, it did happen. So there's a double-edged, triple-edged problem there. But let's keep going with what Turn the Page says here. She's saying no blood, but others saw the assassination in real video of the assassination, say that there was lots of blood. I agree. I don't know what Candace saw, and I'm just going to leave it like that because I don't know if she saw it. I personally don't know. I wouldn't put my livelihood on the line for Candace to be able to see something that she don't need kind of business looking at. I wouldn't have done that. Please be like a worker bee and hit that like button. Help your brother out. Thank you so much, Lady Luck Club. Okay. Lots of good conversation going on in the best live chat on the net. Uh-oh. I'm black. He's wearing black. Hold on. Watch out. Don't get me in trouble, man. Don't get me in trouble, LA Josh. Don't get me in trouble, man. All right, y'all. Legend has got to go out there and hopefully get somebody out of jail or put somebody in jail. I don't know what he's doing, but y'all shout out to Legend, our resident lawyer in the building. Thank you so much, sir. Oh, somebody saw. Okay. I'm just reading through some of the best live chat on the internet. Yo, thank you so much. Who do we have here? Bronx Girl, thank you so much for the $10 super. Hexagon or Star of David was used by early Christians. It is the bottom of the menorah meeting at the fishtail. It is found in one of the first Christian churches in Israel. Really? Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. I guess this is my question for. I appreciate all the hexagonal updates and knowledge, and thank you so much for that very kind, very gracious $20 super. What was Candace trying to do with that, though? Why was she even bringing the hexagon up? As if the hexagon was just like, kind of like a stop sign. When you see a stop sign, when you see an octagon, you know it's a stop sign. Like, what was she trying to tell us with the hexagon? Was she trying to say that there was something about it? Were they building something? The bees? Like Why are you doing this? That story is wackadoodle. I'm sorry. That story just leaves so much to be desired. So much. Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from conspiracies. And look, if you know me, you know I like a good conspiracy every now and then. It helps me sleep at night. I like thinking of some crazy scenarios and stuff like that. That's fun to me. This doesn't require it, though. I can come up with a conspiracy about why my grass looks like it does, and it's probably true because I haven't gone out there and done anything to my grass. So that's why my grass looks crazy. But I don't need to, I can make up a conspiracy about it too. Like my HOA president lives 3 doors down. He comes by every day and throws some kind of stuff in my yard that keeps it from growing properly. See, I can make up there you go. That's a conspiracy. That's why my grass looks crazy. I mean, that's just silliness. And my neighbor does not do that. Shout out to my neighbors. But there's no reason to insert. And let us also keep in mind that, and as we round these bases, these conspiracies are coming from somebody who alleges to be Charlie Kirk's best friend. Like, let that sink in. This is not coming from some wackadoodles on YouTube, because we wackadoodles on YouTube are going to keep wackadoodling, right? But Candace alleges that she was his best friend, his closest confidant, next to his wife and Jesus Christ himself. And she's the one that's propagating all of the conspiracies to the point that we now call her Canaspiracy. To me, that is far worse than what anything somebody could do on YouTube. Like she's the one that's putting them out. And a lot of them have been, I've heard them circulated. I have a video from, it's not called The View, it's called Her Talk. Kind of like, it's a similar View format, 4 ladies sitting at a table yelling at each other. And they're yelling about what? The conspiracy about the $150 million. And whether or not he was paid that, and whether or not he turned it down, and who was paying him. And they're yelling and fussing and fighting and spitting at each other about that. And the first person I heard bring it up was Candace Owens. And they actually reference it. One of the people is Jillian Michaels from The Biggest Loser. And she's like, I don't believe that he was offered $150 million. I don't believe he turned down $150 million. Well, the lady, one of the hostess says, well, it was confirmed by Candace Owens. And they're literally reciting her as an authoritative voice. That's crazy. And that video is going live a little later on today, matter of fact. And it's unfortunate because that she's pushing that stuff out there and it's getting, oh, actually it's not. Sorry, it's not going out today. I'll make it go in a minute. Hold on 1 second. Okay, she's pushing this out there and getting stories out there that are truly messing people up and muddying the waters and getting people confused, if you will, about what's actually going on, what actually happened, so on and so forth. So at 5:15, that video, it can go up at 5 o'clock. It'll go up at 5 o'clock. Boom. So check it out. But and they're just sitting around yelling, and the lady literally says, "Well, Candace Owens confirmed it." How did she confirm it? How did she confirm it? The unnamed sources, the mystery person in the back alley that gave her an envelope. How did she confirm it? And nobody answers those questions. Whoa, what? She's saying that modern Jews aren't really descendants of David, okay? And the Star of David is satanic. Really? Is that where she's getting that from? Oh, okay. So then that would make, I guess, that would be the hexagon would be problematic to her. Okay. Yeah, like everybody likes a good Sasquatch. Everybody likes a Bigfoot story, Loch Ness monster. I mean, come on. New Coke. All that kind of stuff, man. Those conspiracies. Okay, real quick. Thank you so much, y'all. Let's get out of here. What does Shoot say here? Thank you for covering this. I've never given money to any stream ever, but you're worth it. Wait, I work at TPA. This helps more than you know. Wait, you work for TP? You work for Turning Point USA? Oh, really? I have some questions. If you ever want to communicate, you can shoot me an email. I would love, if you work for TPUSA, I have some questions about specifically, here, let me drop my link in the chat. Shout out. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad I earned your time today. But I would love to talk about a video that I saw. It wasn't TPA. Y'all didn't do it. It wasn't you, but it's persons that are seeking to follow after Charlie Kirk. The what's the group? Little Fearless Debate is their name of their Twitter handle. Fearless Debate. And they're kind of doing the Prove Me Wrong tabling event. So if you do work at TPUSA, I do have some questions I would love to hear. And if I could pull your ear a little bit, we don't have to come on camera. We can talk about it offline. I just have some questions about it that I would love to clarify. Y'all and these bees are killing me. What does it say here? Tracy says this. I don't think Candace would have been welcome to open arms at the. No, I don't think so at all. No, she knows she had really messed that up. And by the way, here's my email, by the way. Thanks so much. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, but I want the Candiracy people to tell me, do they understand why we don't agree with her stories? Like, can they understand why we don't think they make sense? So, because some of them are just so wackadoodle, like this one about the bees is crazy. The one about the underground caverns, that's wild. Like, do you understand? Can you see why we don't like it or not? Why we don't agree with it and why it makes no sense to us? Can you understand that? That's what I would love to hear from a Candace person. I would like to know, Nacho, only about how, and it's nothing bad. It's actually nothing to do with what happened 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. It has nothing to do with that. It's really about how TPUSA can equip and help. Because there's a lot of people, I don't know if you saw that video, Nacho, of the young guys that went to Tennessee State University. And let's just say they didn't get met with welcoming arms, okay? And Tennessee State University is a historically Black college university. I'm an alumni of Morehouse College, shout out to the house, and class of 1999. And I wanted to just kind of hear, how do you all help them to properly navigate, or do y'all have anything in play to properly navigate so those chapters don't go and put themselves in a position that's going to probably create more harm than good? So that's what I was really wondering. Again, had nothing to do with what happened with Charlie or what happened out there in Utah or any of these shenanigans we've been talking about today. It was really more about how do y'all prepare them to go out there? Because these guys seem like they're just out there. I think they're trying to go do a college campus on in all 50 states. And, shout out to that. I think that's a notable goal. Hat tip to them. But going to a historically Black college is not the right move. Okay. Please, if you don't mind, I would love to talk to the right person if you could. And here, by the way, again, is my email address. You can just pass it to them and say, hey, this crazy guy that talks real loud in his house in Atlanta would like to talk to you about it and maybe make a little bit more sense. And because the video looked pretty problematic. And I'm not saying these guys were actually related to TPUSA, but I think that they could get some guidance from an organization like yours and as such like that. So that was why what I wanted to talk about. Yeah. I mean, let's just take. There was a lot of problems. So we watched that video last night. Hear me. There's a lot of both ands. I think there's a lot of people that were right, a lot of people that are wrong in that situation. So we can talk about it. So anyway, thank y'all so much. I need to get out of here. I don't know if any of y'all have ever taught your child, your teenager, how to drive. I don't know. Do you realize how fast you drive when you're now sitting in the passenger seat watching your teenager drive the speed limit. Oh my gosh, man. I gotta take my daughter driving, but she drives like, wow, she drives so slow. And I'm like, oh, she's driving the speed limit. That's the problem. I'm like, I don't think that's like a speed suggestion to me, but she just drives. I mean, she's trying to be a good driver. Bless her heart, man. She's doing a fantastic job. And I have to go to the store, and I told her she's gonna be my black Uber all week. Everywhere I want to go, she's gonna drive me. And I'm like, wow, why does she drive so slow? And I'm looking, I'm like, that speed limit says that. I look over the dashboard, like, oh, she's driving the speed limit. Oh, that's what it's like to drive the speed limit. I just think it's hilarious. Moving forward, what'd you say? Not backwards. What'd she say here? She said HBCUs had death threats 2 weeks ago by Megan. So of course they were upset. Right. See, and that's what I wanted to talk about. I think, and again, maybe we'll do a whole nother show. I did a show last night about it, but I really think, because as an alumni of Morehouse College, I want my alma mater to embrace persons who have different opinions. We cannot be mono in our thought and ideology. We have to embrace other ideologies. We have to. There's no other way around it. I just don't think that those young men went about it the right way. That was just my little 2 cents. So I would love to have a conversation. So if Turning Point USA is available, I would love to ask them some questions, maybe get a little bit of clarity. And then if I need to, I've reached out to the chapters that are near here. There's one in Kennesaw State, there's one in Georgia State, Georgia Tech, and several others. And I've reached out to them to see if I can, add some advice, if you will. So we'll see what happens. But if Turning Point would like to talk about it, I would love to hear what they got to say on that. No problem. Moving forward, not backwards. Absolutely. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to go take this little girl driving. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Thank you. Didn't even have a thumbnail, but I appreciate y'all for jumping in for however long. It's almost been 2 hours, y'all. That's crazy work. But thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. Let's do this again real soon. Oh, tomorrow morning, I will be on A Righteous Perspective. We're doing a Friday panel discussion. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. He's going to send me it later on today, so I don't even know. Absolutely. Drop your link in the chat, Lady Luck Club. Please go check out Lady Luck Club. Thank you so much to our moderators for keeping everything moving in the right direction. Derek says HBCUs were not threatened by MAGA. I don't believe so either, but you know what? I'm just going to go with the narrative and let it go. But I do think that there's definitely unequivocally some preemptive stuff that can be done to quell any of those nervousness that comes up, because of course they're going to run with the narrative. They're going to run with it. So there you go. Shout out to Lady Luck Club. Y'all go check out what she's doing over there. I appreciate it. And y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll be on, like I said, A Righteous Perspective tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but I'm sure it'll be fun. So go check them out. I'll make sure the link is in the description of this video, as well as a community post. Welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate all of the supers, all the new members, my moderators. Thank you to everybody. Drop B's in the chat on the way out the door. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.